What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the THAI Lyfe Channel. My name is Min, and in this video I am going to share with you how to do this awesome 3D design that I see all over social media, where it's swirly. You can make it into any type of form of swirls, and then you put chrome on it. Yes, that's what it is, and I'm excited to share with you because I couldn't even find any of the tutorial anywhere for this design when I was in need to do this design on my client. So I bought the product, I ended up practicing, and I'm able to execute it on her, and now you guys get to see it. So this client right here, she came in for a backfill. We're going to fill it in with the same color acrylic that is earth covered by young nail, and the base of this design is going to be black. We're going to put black base on here, and we're going to go with the polished black, okay? So I know if y'all are experienced nail tech, y'all probably know how to polish already. But for those of you who are new and still struggling with polishing, how to get close to the cuticles, I am going to share the tips and tricks with you. So when it comes to polishing, there's two types of polish, regular and gel. Regular polish, you have couple strokes to make 4, and then it's going to get dry by the oxygen and the air. The best part about gel polish is that it doesn't dry until it hits the LED light. So now you have so many strokes, right, to get that polish perfect. Especially polishing black is probably one of the hardest polish you can polish out there, okay? But the way I polish is that I like to start from the top of the fingernail and I work my way up to the cuticle, and this is how it's done, y'all. So now I pick up the polish. I'm gonna go ahead and polish it as many times as I want. I'm gonna start from the middle, brush it down. I'm not gonna work close to the cuticle yet, but once I get close to the cuticle, I'm gonna go ahead and spread the brush. I'm gonna spread the brush slowly, and I'm gonna get around the cuticle. And the thing about polishing is that you want to make sure you execute the polish one shot kill. Meaning you don't want to have any type of polish dripping all over the cuticles, all over the side of the skin, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up with the acetone. Yes, you can do that, but it will never look the same. The best way is just to polish your nail perfectly one time and then get the cuticle perfect, because if you clean any type of polish around the nail, you can see the smear, okay? And when it comes to Instagram pictures, when it comes to like videos, you're gonna see that smear, okay? And you're gonna hate yourself for it, and I don't want you to hate yourself for it. So make sure you take your time. You just polish, okay? During this polishing right here, I don't rush, y'all. I know there's a lot of veteran nail tech out there. They be like, oh, the polish is easy. I can knock that out in 5 minutes. That is great for you, but that's not me, okay? I'm going to take my time. It could be 5 minutes. It could be 10 minutes. Whatever that makes the nail looks good. So now, after you polish the first coat, you're going to go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. And when you are curing the client's nail, right, make sure you tell the client, lift up your thumb a little bit. Lift up your thumb, because usually all the way down to the corner, the left corner of the thumb, it never gets cured because it's laying down. It doesn't hit the light. So make sure you tell them to lift up the thumb a little bit, okay? So now you're going to go in with the second coat. The second coat of the polishing is so much easier, okay? Because once you lay the first coat nicely, the second coat should be a lot easier. But here's the trick about the second coat. The second coat is where you need to get your eye to look at all over the fingernails to make sure that you cover up every single space and gap up the fingernails, okay? That's what the second coat is. The second coat is not for you to slap a couple polish on top of the nail and hopefully the clients don't see your mistake. No, the second polish is for you to make sure there is no mistake. That's why there's a second coat, okay? And yes, the second coat does bring out the color pigmentation a lot better. So now, after I finish up the second coat, here we go with the design. So this Polygel right here, I got it. It's by Born Pretty. They also make different type of chrome color too. They also have different Polygel color that you can buy with this design. I bought the clear one because I figure I can use chrome powder to color it in, so I don't need a specific color. Clear goes with a lot of things. So the trick about this is, as you can see, I use the pushers, cuticle pushers, and I'm going to pick up the Polygel. I'm going to pick up a little bit. I'm going to test it out. So when I pick it up, I put it on, I make a mistake. Do not panic, okay? Clients know that, hey, she is happy that you're able to even try to do this design for, because a lot of nail tech probably tell them that they can't do it, okay? So now, if you make a mistake, get some alcohol, wipe it up, it's gone. So here we go, I laid the first ring. So now, the cool part about this, when I laid that first one, I was like, okay, this is pretty awesome. So I continue on. But also keep in mind, like, be careful about these sticky stuff. So now, as I'm picking up these polygel, I realized that my finger was getting a little bit stickier than it was before. And the problem with my finger being sticky is that every time I touch the polygel now, it's just all clamped together like a big blob. And that was giving me a hard time. So if you see me not laying any type of ring at that moment, it's because I'm trying to get that stickiness to be perfect. So what I also learned is that when you are starting to roll, if your hand has some kind of like debris, your hand is kind of dirty, that clear polygel is going to turn a little bit dull. Now, if you OCD like me, that would bother me. But what I also tell myself, like, look, I'm going to go ahead and polish over this 3D ring, so it doesn't really matter what color the base is. So I was like, let me just go on with it then, okay? So as I'm putting this gel, each finger, I told the client, like, hey, let's just be creative. Let's try to just, play around, create like different type of like circle. And honestly, y'all, I was excited to do that because now each finger has a different type of design. Imagine in the future if I was going to work on a client and she only wanted one type of ring, I have done it all. It's able to be executed. You know what I mean? So now, like I said earlier, picking the ring, you start rolling in a ball, and you're gonna go ahead and just stretch it out. You can. The cool thing about it is once you lay this like polygel over the nail, you can stretch out the polygel and then create your own. I think that's the cool part. Is that you can stretch it out. Okay, it can start out like a big old. But the way you roll it, y'all, let's talk about the way you roll. So the first thing when I did was I pick up the polygel, right? I'm going to roll it. First, I roll into a ball. Once I roll into a ball, I roll it into a joint next. If you ever roll a joint, then you would know how to roll this really well. So when you roll it in a joint, you kind of go ahead and put it on one end of the nail and you kind of lay it over. And as you laying it, you kind of swerve it however you want it to do it. So here I am. Let's try that again. I'm rolling it. You don't see my hand rolling it, but I'm actually rolling something. And here I am. I made it into a joint. And I'm going to go ahead and lay it on. And I'm going to swirl it over and create that design. The good thing about this polygel, y'all, is that once you roll it on the nail, it doesn't spread. I know a lot of y'all can probably use like rhinestone glue or some hard gel to do this design. But those things, once you leave it out in the open too long, it starts melting and it kind of lays it flat. This polygel right here, it stays into this 3D shape. And that's what amazed me. I was like, okay, then let me just go on with every finger before I cure it. And here's the cool part. You see how that thumb right there? I didn't have enough, so now I had to go roll myself another joint. And once I roll another joint, I lay it connected and I'm able to connect the dot, y'all. And after that, you cure it, okay? You cure before you put the polish over it because it's still kind of like soft. It's like a little Play-Doh, right? So once I cure it, that thing is hard, y'all. You cure for 90 seconds. That gel thing, it is hard. Okay, like it's not coming off whatsoever until you file them off. So now, this is actually the fun part of this tutorial, y'all, or even this design, is coloring those rings, because the ring's the hard part. Like once you get that ring, you roll the joint, everything's good. Now, you pick out the colors, you pick out like, the chrome that you want. It's so fun because now my client, she's bougie and she's extra. She remind me, she's Asian. She remind me of this Asian Harley Quinn because she got different type of hair color everywhere, y'all. And we're going to go in with different fingers on different colors. And that's why I love about this tutorial is because I'm able to show you different type of colors, not just one colors. So now you are more comfortable to really go out and say like, look, I can do all of this for you. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, this is why I'm so excited about this design, y'all. So now I go in with the little, stuff that you use to chrome with. And I'm going to go ahead and just color in with the rings. Now here's the trick, y'all. When you guys are coloring in the ring, you got to pick up very little of the chrome powder. And you're going to dab it lightly. Because if you don't dab it too hard, it's going to fall onto the dust, going to get on the base. And the goal is not to have any type of dust on the base. I made that mistake. This is what I did, y'all. I'm going to tell you my mistake. I should have put a top coat on top of the black base before I created all the 3D ring. I was afraid that if I add the top coat onto the base first, would the ring attach? Like, would it even connect? Because sometimes the top coat is so slippery, it doesn't even connect. I was afraid of that. But you know what? I'm going to test that thing out and I'm going to get back to y'all on it. So what I did was that when I put the ring on and now I start doing the coloring, now I starting to see some of the chrome dust falling onto the base, and that's not what we wanted, but it's not the end of the world. During a design process, y'all, you don't understand, but as a nail tech, I might keep myself looking very calm, like the world is in a peaceful place, but inside my head, it is a backstage scene, running a show, calculating how I'm gonna finish up this design. Because when you are doing design, the goal is to get you a finished execution. So you're running a show in the back of your head while you're keeping a patient looking calm down face, right? So now I'm gonna go ahead and add a top coat where the rings are at, and I'm not gonna put top coat on the base yet, and I'm gonna clean it up so that I don't take away the chrome, okay? So you got to problem solve when you are dealing with situations that you are not comfortable with when you are doing a design, okay? Don't find yourself stuck. Have fun, okay? Especially if you have a client at this moment right here, she never had none of this done. So she even had no clue what is going on. Even if you make a mistake, she thought that's the process. So don't ever be like putting yourself down. But after that, y'all, like I say, I'm going to go ahead and drop the top coat onto any type of space that you want to put the top coat, and I'm going to use the thin brush, and I'm going to go ahead and brush the top coat around each of the 3D ring. But so far, looking at the nails, how cool is that design, y'all? I was really excited, and you can see from my tone, like talking to y'all right now, I'm excited because honestly, as a nail technician, if I'm able to do something outside my comfort zone and I'm able to execute it perfectly, it makes me really happy. Like, it makes me feel like I have elevated my career. I took my career to another level that I can't imagine to get there. You see what I'm saying? That's what I love about being a nail tech, is just being able to be creative, being able to bring the imagination, art to life onto someone's nails. And honestly, this is better than what the clients pay me. This is better than any type of tip. It's that feeling that you're able to produce for the client, that feeling that you're able to give to the client that no one can give to them. And honestly, that is the best thing I feel about being a nail technician. So, after I put the top coat onto the ring and everything, look, y'all, at this moment, I'm going to cure it for 60 seconds. Now, look, I see a couple dust, like I told you earlier, I'm going to clean it, okay? I'm not going to pretend like I don't see the mistake. We're going to go ahead and wipe it off with some water or some alcohol. I always recommend some alcohol because what it does, it really cleans the nail really well. It won't take the polish away. It gets a little dull, but once you put the top coat on, it's going to get shiny again. But it's just trying to get, but as you can see, after putting the top coat onto the ring, I can wipe off the nail without damaging the color that I have put on the 3D ring. Okay, I still don't know what the terminology for this design is. I don't know how long this trend's gonna last, but honestly, I think it's pretty cool. And I can't imagine what you can do with this. Now you're gonna start seeing more like sculpting 3D art from like nail techs and all that. And I already see some of that on social media. So I can't wait to see what other design that is gonna come up with next. But this right here, definitely, you guys should take this tutorial, learn this design, go out, get the product, and really offer this to your client. This set of fills right here, I charged the client $120. She tipped me $20, so that's $140, which is not bad. It took me a good 2 hours and 15 minutes. I think just doing the design on 10 fingers itself took me 1 hour, y'all. But that's just because this is my first time doing this design. So imagine the more you do it, just it gets easier, right? So after that, I'm gonna go in with the final top coat, put the top coat right on the nails, put it all everywhere besides where the chrome's at, because the chrome already have top coats. You don't need to put top coats on that area. But after that top coat is on, y'all, cure it for 60 seconds. Put some cuticles oil on there because we don't want a client walking out with some dry ass cuticles. But other than that, y'all, this is how the design looks like at the end. Thank you for watching. I love this design. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I hope to see you on my next tutorial video. Thank you so much for all your support. Have a nice day. What is going